I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man!
Nuts. You thought you just...
And now, your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon! Well, back at it like a crack addict. And guys, today is another gaming podcast Monday. Although, I will say this. I do have something to say. I have a few things to say. I want to just kind of say how I've been feeling lately. There's been a few things to happen to kind of I guess push my buttons. So I just want to say what I got to say, and then I want to leave it there, and then I want to just go on and have some fun. So with that being said, it's the Cowboy, and I'm here with some more epic entertainment. So let me slap this hat on. We gonna get it going and rocking and rolling. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna start to knock something down over there, and I got the fish tank right there. I was like, Lord, if I knock the fish tank over. Well, then again, it's my daughter's fish tank. However, she moved out, so she left the rights to the fish tank to me. So it's really my fish tank. So I don't really know what she could say if I destroyed it. Anyway, so guys, I'm gonna keep it real, man. I remember I used to be a Stadia head, right? And I remember people would say, "Oh, Stadia community is toxic," and I used to say, "Bro, if you think that's toxic, I bet you never seen the Xbox and PlayStation community." I remember I used to do a Wednesday show called Gamer Talk, and I would just invite the PlayStation and Xbox guys on, right? Bro, talk about toxic. Those guys want to kill each other. Now, there is no more Stadia, and I'm not into the cloud gaming community anymore. And so now I deal with nothing but PlayStation and Xbox guys. And I think it's starting to get to me. Now, this is what I'll say. I know how toxic PlayStation and Xbox guys could get because I always was a PlayStation and Xbox guy. So I know. But I think being into cloud gaming, something new, a new market, everybody was more kumbaya and happy and want to help each other. Hey, I know your channel's small. Let me help. Oh, you want to play video games together? Hey. And then eventually it became the Cloud Wars. Oh, Luna isn't as good as Stadia. Oh, GFN is more powerful. Oh, xCloud doesn't do this. But now I don't really talk about Luna and xCloud and Stadia and GFN. I mainly just play PlayStation and Xbox. And so mainly I hear a lot of PlayStation and Xbox. And I'm gonna be honest. Guys, it's getting on my effing nerves. Here's the thing. I just want to play video games and I just want to talk about video games. I want to get to know you guys. I want you guys to get to know me. I want to just make content that we all can have fun with. But here's what's getting on my effing nerves. You effing crybabies. And this is what I got to say. So I might sound like I'm crying right now, but I'm crying because I deal with you effing crybabies. Every day, it's Xbox is better than PlayStation. Every day. It's, you know what? Hold up, because I'm going in. So before I do that, I used to do this thing back in the day, and I think we got to go there. So before I finish, let me just give you guys a warning.
Man the fuck up.
I'm not here to babysit grown men filmings. So I don't give a F who has a problem with what I'm about to say. If you got a problem with it, take it down the road. All right? Take it down the road. I used to say this when I was a Stadia guy. And the Stadia guys, they just had to deal with it. Oh, the Cowboy's always throwing Chucky on there. He's always being mean. Well, mother effing PlayStation and Xbox guys, hear me out. Yo, I don't want to be in your console war. I don't care. I just played Game Pass for about 3 hours straight. And then I jumped over to PlayStation. I don't want to be involved with your stupid console war. Now, I always said on my platform, bro, we could discuss it because it's news. But it's getting on my nerve because now it backfired on me. We take one story, oh, Xbox trying to get ABK. And it's like, Xbox gonna get ABK. That means what is PlayStation gonna do? Guys, shut the F up. Like, go hug your mom. Like, go find something meaningful in your life. Because hating PlayStation because you like Xbox isn't it. Hating Xbox because you like PlayStation isn't it. And this is the dumbest thing. Most of you guys that hate PlayStation and Xbox, you play PlayStation and Xbox. Like, you act like you have a side you stand on. Hey, don't cross this, but you play them both. You ain't standing on no sides. Oh, Xbox is better, but you got a PlayStation 5 and you're playing PlayStation 5. Oh, well, PlayStation is better and you're using Game Pass PC. Like, I don't want to hear from nobody unless you put your stake in the ground. And this is it. I'm going to die on this hill. I'm never going to leave Xbox. I'm going to die on this hill. I'm never going to leave PlayStation. Ain't none of you guys like that. Why? Because you guys are gamers just like me. You just like to play games. But you talk more than you play games. Like, everyone goes on and on. Oh, I love Xbox. Oh, I love PlayStation. But you play them both. You play them both. So shut the F up. If you ain't that hardcore and you love Xbox that much and you love PlayStation that much that you like, I would never have a PlayStation in my house. I would never have an Xbox in my house. I bleed green. I bleed blue. Shut the F up. People with whole channels, Xbox, PlayStation, and you playing Xbox and you playing PlayStation. You're a joke. When you try to trigger people, Xbox did this, PlayStation did this, you're a joke because you got the same console you laughing at. Let me get this straight. So you love this so much, but you're still playing games over here. Over here. You love this so much, but you're still playing games over here. Doesn't that make you a hypocrite? Doesn't that make nothing comes out your mouth is true? Because if you getting feelings, if a grown man say, oh, well, that green box sucks. No, bro, it's better and they make more money. Well, doesn't that make you a loser? Because you still be playing on the thing that the person said that triggered you? Same thing. Oh, PlayStation, Jim Ryan just got fired. Don't talk about Jim Ryan like that. And then you go home and you play Game Pass. Why? Because a new game just came out on Game Pass. Guys, listen. Yeah, last week was rough for me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just a people's person. I like people. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I like to joke. Yeah, I would talk my little smack, my little trash. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't use me to facilitate the console wars, right? And I know I love it. I used to mess with Doc Dark and TK9 and all the people. I used to say, listen, if you want to talk console wars, come do it. I did. But you guys don't seem like you have brain cells because that's all you want to talk about. Oh, the show's going to be boring because you ain't going to be talking about console wars or this is better than this. And then I'm just trying to play video games. And this is the mentality of gamers. I'm playing a game, and you got people in chat, that game is copy and paste. I'm like, no, it isn't. This game is doing stuff the other one doesn't. No, it's the same game if you didn't have this and this. Well, then it's not the same game. If you literally just said, this game does this and this, that game doesn't have this and this, but it's copy and paste. I don't think that's actually what copy and paste is then, sir. Copy and paste means you take the exact same thing and you put it over here. The moment you take this stuff out and you have something different, then it's no longer copy and paste. So this is what I deal with in just gaming and streaming. So all I'm saying is this. Listen, bro. I like to laugh and joke. I like to talk trash. I like to but I just want to have fun. You guys take the fun out of this stuff because you bleed it. Like, you bleed it. But then it's A backwards. Because you bleed it, but then you playing the opposite stuff. You guys get so mad and defensive. No, I seen another PlayStation traded for an Xbox. Ha 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 ha. But you got a PlayStation. You got a PlayStation. So someone trading in a PlayStation for an Xbox gave you so much enjoyment, but you got a PlayStation. So why didn't you go trade in your PlayStation for an Xbox? So I don't get the joke. They traded in an Xbox for a PlayStation. You got an Xbox. You got it. So I'm having a hard time. Like, I don't mind when people, you want to be a soldier. You want to be strong. Bro, I grew up in Trenton, New Jersey. I've seen some crazy stuff. I've seen people do crazy stuff in the name of what they stood on. The term, I will die on this hill. You guys ain't dying on no effing hill because you're doing the same damn thing on the other side that you talk about that's better. Like, I don't get it. Ha ha ha! Xbox is better, but you playing your PlayStation. Where I come from, if you're gonna die on that hill, then die on that hill. I remember when I got so into Stadia, I canceled my GameFly because I was like, I don't even play PlayStation no more. That's what I did. I was like, bro, I don't even play PlayStation. I'm Stadia to the death. The only thing that stopped me from being to the death with Stadia was when they stopped getting the games. Because at the end of the day, I'm about games. I need my video games. You guys talk games. You talk games. I don't know if you're playing them, but you talk games. You sure do talk games. But I need to play my games. For me, I just need to play games. So I want to discuss gaming with you guys. I really do. But man, and maybe it's me. Maybe it's me, right? You say, Cowboy, you up there crying. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm crying, right? Maybe it's me. But it's because I'm tired of all you guys want to do is say, ha, ha, ha. And then you go play the same thing. That's the point. Like no one's standing for anything. So you look silly. 5 minutes later, ha, ha, ha. And then you go play the other side. Like people making all these videos. Xbox, put up the X. Xbox, Sony did this, Sony did that. Look at Sony, they got another remaster. And then months later, you're playing that remaster. Like, whew, man. Anyway, I just want to start the show off. Guys, you know me. I stream my life. You guys get to literally see what I eat. You get to see my kids. You know their names. You know my grandkids. I am what you call authentic. I like to put my life out there. I'm a vlogger. That's what I do. It's part of it. You guys get to sit behind. You get to sit behind a mask. No one knows what you look like. They don't know what you sound like. But you get to sit behind a mask and talk trash because you get to hide. So for me, I'm out here in real life. You guys know, the guys are like, oh, he's got a new job tomorrow. I tell my whole life. So it just gets tiring because I deal with fake people on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Some of you guys probably don't even play any of the games you argue about. Because you know why? You just want to sow dissension and turmoil. You wake up just to trigger people and talk trash and then go back to sleep. That's your enjoyment. My enjoyment is just to come out here and have fun with you guys, play video games, laugh, joke, try to help build a community. I allow people to jump on my platform so we could, listen, if you don't want to have your own platform, you don't want to dig through the trenches and try to be a YouTuber, bro, just come on, let's just talk. No. You know what happens? Fake individuals that no identity. I don't know what you look like. I don't know what you sound like. Some I just don't know. And then you just come on to talk trash, to push buttons, to be negative. To talk trash, to push buttons, to be negative. To talk trash, to push buttons, to be negative. That's it. Like, that's your day? You enjoyed it. It was great, huh? You going to sleep? Let me pull my cover over. Those ponies. Those Xbox. That's it. Bro, is that life? Man, I start a new job tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm going to be working from home. I'm going to be able to end my work shift, relax for a little bit, jump on the stream, not have to go out because, hey, look, this is my real, look, where I live at. You guys can see, I live across the street from 7-Eleven, my real house. Hey, look at this. Look, box just came in the mail. Look at that. This is going to be my computer in here. These are 2 monitors they sent me. My calendar. Look at this. Look. Oh, look at that. This is a real life. This is my actual room. Look. See my little thing up there in the corner? My name is Anthony. Yeah, I'm real. Look at that. My daughter's stuff that she left when she moved out. Her fish tank I feed every day. Yeah. I am real. Real life. So you don't have to worry about me just waking up for no reason, just want to talk trash, piss people off. No, I'm real. I'm real. Real. See this? Real. You guys seen when I hurt my shoulder? Tore my rotator cuff. My doctor said my rotator cuff was tore off the bone. I vlogged every doctor's appointment, every visit. I showed me in the hospital, going in the hospital, going out. Real life. Real life. I don't have a mask on. Ha ha ha. PlayStation is trash. Ha ha ha. Xbox trash. No, I'm just giving you guys me. Giving you guys me. Letting you guys come and join with me. Let's have some fun. I'm just being real, authentic. That's me. That's me. Anthony L. Lewis. You got my first, my middle initial, and my last name. Like, that's me. You want to know? I'm an Aries. My sign is a diamond. I'm a fire sign. The dragon is my Chinese sign. Like, what do you need to know? So I'm real. But the thing is, most of you guys aren't real. So you get satisfaction of no one know who you are. You just be an idiot all day, trolling people, trash talking, and you probably don't even care and have stake in Xbox or PlayStation. It probably don't even matter to you. You just want to piss somebody off for no reason. So me personally, yes, I don't want to change, right? I was annoyed last week because you guys was on. I don't need to revisit it, but people know. If you want, just watch last week. So I was annoyed because I was trying to just go through the October games and people still want to say, well, that game is okay, but PlayStation is better. Well, you know, PlayStation ain't sell more. Oh, well, you know what? PlayStation sells more, but Xbox got more people playing. Like, bro, let me know when any of that make your gaming experience better. And the only thing you can say is, well, if more people play multiplayer games on Xbox, then that must mean I have more people to play with. Because other than that, shut the F up. Now, I was annoyed because I just wanted to talk gaming, laugh, joke. Hey, what you playing? I'm playing Atlas Fallen. I don't think it's better than Forspoken. I'm looking forward to buying Forspoken eventually when I send it back. Blah, blah, blah. You know? So anyway, I did say I was going to switch my format up and be like Purple Haze. Look, only one person on at a time. You leave, somebody else come on. But I realized after talking to Jersey, Jersey said, bro, that's not your thing. You're the cowboy. You let anybody jump on. That's what you do. Don't switch up. You just got to man up and be more of a host. I'm like, you know what? You're right. If I'm like, bro, y'all got to calm it down. Guess what? I just throw you in the back. So y'all calm it down. Then I bring you back on. There's no hard feelings. I'm just trying to run the show. That's all, you know. So I want the audience who are watching to be like, oh, that was intriguing. They was going back and forth. It was a good little banter. But at the same time, we want some substance out of this show. Anyway, man, I love doing this stuff because I do it for me first, right? I love coming on here. I'm social. I like to laugh. I like to meet new people. This is like what I do. I could be outside hanging with my friends or doing whatever, but no, I just rather, you know, sit in the house, turn the camera on. You guys are my friends. You guys are the people I like to chill and talk to. But the day when I don't like that, I got to change things because I'm not going to stop doing this because you guys just want to ha, 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 Xbox, ha, 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 PlayStation. No, then you just go down the road. Or I just won't have certain people on and I just will just ignore certain people in the chat. I don't know. But I love doing this because, dude, I'm a crazy guy. I wear a cowboy hat on. I'm out here doing spin kicks and dancing and guys, I am a silly guy. I love this. I live for this, right? This is what I like to do. This gives me entertainment. And I think through life, everybody should find things they enjoy. So I'm not going to stop doing what I enjoy because you guys just want to hate on different plastic boxes. Now, I get it. There's a real thing as a console war. And listen, I mess with Nintendo. I'm like, oh, Nintendo old hardware. I mean, the hardware is old, but still, right? But I just feel like, yo, step off the brakes, you know, step off the gas a little bit. Okay, guys? I know you want to say Xbox sucks and PlayStation is the best. And PlayStation can't do what Xbox do because they got, I get it. And we've been doing that since Nintendo. Hell, I've been doing that back in the day when it was Atari and ColecoVision. But long story short, it's so old and tiring. And I don't mind if your heart bleeds green and all you know is Xbox. Your heart bleeds blue and all you know is PlayStation. But none of you guys live that way because you all either got a PlayStation and an Xbox, or you do like I do, you got a PlayStation 5 and you stream games on xCloud, or you say PlayStation is trash, but then you play PlayStation games on PC. Or you say I don't care about Xbox, but you playing Starfield on Game Pass PC. So none of you guys are really about it. So I feel like it's just dumb to act that about it. Now, if you was like, you know what? I like this, I prefer this, and I don't think this is as good. And that's it. But no, the super diehard act is silly when you do both. I'm just calling you all out. You do both. You play on both. So you ain't really that tough and you ain't really that die hard. So you need to just stop console warring. Because if you are saying this is so much better, it doesn't get no better than this. But you over here playing this. Yo, if there wasn't, I can't make a clearer hypocrite than that. I'm just saying. So you're all hypocrites. Now, maybe no one cares. They want to be a hypocrite. I'm just saying, if you're that die hard, then don't play the other one. Because as soon as you play the other one, you're a hypocrite. And then I guess this one isn't as trash. Because you're playing it. All right, anyway. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to get it off my chest. I just want to put it out there that we're grown men acting like children. Yes, it's fine, a console war. But you guys take it too far, man. I just want to be the guy to say it. I just want. Now, I see somebody like, I ain't even going to say no names in any of this, but the people that's making money off of it, I give them credit. They know how to trigger people. They go to sleep at night. Ha, ha, ha. They see dollar signs. Okay? So for them, it's actually financially beneficial for them to console war. But the people who just do it for nothing, you're the little soldiers. I'm Team Xbox. I'm Team PlayStation. You're the little broke soldiers that don't get paid for the war, right? You're like the people that got drafted over. They running. The first ones running in getting shot. You ain't getting, your family ain't getting no benefits. Your family ain't getting nothing for your life that was just served. That's how you guys are. You're console warring so hard and you get nothing out of it. Nothing. You ain't no ambassador. You ain't a content creator. You don't see a nickel or a dime. You just do it because you was brainwashed into doing it. You've been doing it so long that you're just brainwashed that it must be one side is better than the other. That's it. And I'm not going to lie, I used to be there. One time I was diehard Xbox. Forget PlayStation. Then I was diehard PlayStation. Forget Xbox. Then I was Team Cloud. Hey, I used to be nothing's better than Nintendo, playing with power. I used to be like, Sega. Trust me, I've been through it. I used to be a diehard Atari Jaguar fan. I used to be a diehard TurboGrafx 16 fan. Trust me, I get it. But when I was a diehard fan, I was like, forget the other side. Now, I went over to my boy house. You know, we probably was playing it over there. But anyway, man, yeah, I think that's all I got to say. I apologize for stringing on the show. But at the end of the day, we were still talking gaming. And I know I got a lot to check out in the chat. I'll tell you now, I'm going to skim through and I'm reading the whole chat. I'm going to have to kill some of the stuff I do. I'm going to have to change some things, right? Now, I always want to try to get to as much as I can. I'm going to try to click and make everything come up on the screen. I'm going to send the link. You guys could join, jump on here, say what you got to say. I don't care. But at the end of the day, I'm here to have fun and to talk gaming. So with that being said, I'm the Cowboy. We're going to have some epic entertainment. I'm also the master of vlogging. I'm the all-purpose champ. I'm the king of content. And I'm also the king of entertainment, and we're going to make it do what it do. If you guys are new to the channel, Mondays is a gaming podcast like this. I have guests come on. We'll talk about gaming. Tuesdays is a reality talk show. People come on. We talk about crazy stuff that's going on in the world, aliens. We're going to bring up Israel tomorrow. That's kind of wild. Wednesdays is a wrestling podcast where we play wrestling. And we got titles that we play for, and I put in the thumbnail who won what title. And then Thursdays has recently become my get over here Thursdays, where we play Mortal Kombat, and I give out awards of who had the most wins, who did the most finishers, and stuff like that. So 4 days a week, you get 4 different type of content, and I put out like videos all the time as well. A lot of vlogging, a lot of every time I go to the movies, I do a movie review. I just put out 2 movie reviews this weekend because I went to the movies on Friday and Sunday. Yeah, I mean, if I go to the restaurant and record it, guys, I'm giving you content because I just like to do it. If nobody watch, I'll still be doing it because I'm just addicted to doing content, and that's why I'm the king. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to grab a chair. I hope you guys grab a chair. I apologize for the 30-minute rant. Wow. Talk about a monologue, right? But with that being said, yeah, man, I'm going to check out the chat, see what you guys are up to, and let's talk about video games, right? Who doesn't like video games, right? I don't know. All right, let's see. So we got 100 something comments. I am late to the party. I want to pull up everything at least. My man Dustin was in the building. Let's see. Devlin was in the building. What's going on, guys? Room was in the building. Obi's in the building. My man 503's in the building. Rune is in the building. Let's see. FCat is in the building. Let me see. Let's see. I want all your stuff to be popped up on the screen at some point in time. Purple is in the building. Let's go. Let's see. Ron is in the building. Let's go. Let me see. My man Rune, I appreciate it, man. He said $10 from Rune. I agree with everything you said, but bro, please don't be talking like this and then talking about console wars the next week. Listen, we could talk about console wars. I'm not saying you guys can't talk about console wars. I'm not saying somebody can't come on. What I'm saying is the extra. Like if you've seen last week, we started off and people was talking about console wars. We know people gonna have a preference. What I'm talking about is when I was like, okay, let's go through the best games, or not the best games, but October games. And people was like, well, this game is better on Xbox or this and that. It's like, dude, all right, cool, fine. Make a statement. But what I'm saying is, can we move on? Like, there's no point to drag it out is what I'm saying. You know, console wars is evidently a part of gaming. You can't have gaming without console wars. All I'm asking is maturity. That's what I'm asking. Just a little bit of maturity. Like, come on, let's talk gaming. You want to say Starfield is still good because it doesn't have a 60 frame patch, and somebody want to say, well, I can't play a game at 60. Cool, that's a statement, and that was a statement. But we don't need the back and forth for like 13 minutes. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But if you're not mature enough to get that, I understand. All right. Let's see. And I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for the donation. I do this because I love to chat and socialize, and I try to, entertain people. Maybe not everything I do is entertaining, but when you guys do donate, I appreciate it because it make me feel that I'm not just spending every day or every time I'm streaming for nothing. It makes me feel that you guys do enjoy what I'm doing. So I appreciate it. All right. Let me see. He's talking about you. Let me see. Guys are in the building. Let's go. Let me see. Purple said, for the record, I don't see a 7-Eleven across the street. All right, well, fine. You can't see it, but Google map it. You see it. It's there. Sour said, unsubscribing. Oh, man. Let's see. Antlit Lewis. Yo, what's up? Lethal's in the building. All right, so you guys are cracking up in there. I'm glad that you guys are cracking up, man. Just having fun. It's cool, man. Atari rules. PUBG is awesome, by the way. You talk about now. Let's see. Yeah, listen. I don't want you guys starting a war with each other either. I was just kind of getting stuff off my chest. You know, that's all. That's all. All right, let me see. I just want to kind of like scroll through everything because I was late running my mouth. It's cool. See you guys. Where is Q Beanie, man? I know you got that new beautiful truck. Let's see. Nintendo. Favorite multiplayer game. Sega Dreamcast. Oh, Sarah, I appreciate it, man. The $2. So the console you play on is the best. Yeah, man. Listen, it's the best for you. You know, I can't tell people who play on Nintendo that their Switch isn't the best for them. You know, for real. I will be dropping the link. I just want to scroll through. I want everybody comments to at least be on the screen. I could at least go back and check it out. Yo, y'all calling urban suburban? I was saying that about him a long time ago. Porn Wars. Whoa, Pornhub versus OnlyFans. Okay. All right, we are here. He said, "Hurry up with this right." All right, cool. So let me drop the link so you guys could join. Feel free to join and be a part of the show. Again, I like to say I don't like to censor people. So say what you want, but I will say this. It would be nice if it was meaningful content. And if I'm the host, I guess I have to host that. So once you just start going off the deep end, again, I don't like to censor anybody, but if you're just dragging out your points, then let me see. So to join the show, bam, there's a link. I will pin it in the chat so you guys who come in can join, and let's get it going. Let's get the show cracking. There's a bunch of stuff that happened in gaming, and I'm sure you guys want to talk about it. So what do you want to talk about? Yeah, so what I've been doing is putting stuff in the Discord. And so let me go to the gaming podcast Discord. Actually, I'll show you guys myself. So check this out. Actually, let me get it to the top. So I made a new Discord where, bam, check this out, guys. Where if you guys want to know what we're going to talk about, you could actually go to the Discord, go to the tab called Gaming Podcast Mondays, and you can scroll down. So this is some stuff we talked about last week. PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan retiring. We went through October games and X Defiant. So yeah, and so here is some stuff we want to talk about. Let me see. Naughty Dog's Last of Us seem to be in trouble. Randy Orton paid $1,000 to get somebody to up the max out their character in Elden Ring. Just a bunch of topics we got. We don't have to get through all of them, but and of course I don't really encourage people to talk in this chat, so it should have just been like the articles, but people was actually talking in chat. So and look, PlayStation Portal is sold out. Look at that. So anyway, let's get my man F Cat in the building. Give him some hands. And
Yo,
what's going on, F Cat?
why you took my job?
Huh?
I'm playing.
Um,
Nah, man. I mean, we were cool. We were
we are
doing
cool,
great.
man.
Like nobody here is simping for a particular thing other than maybe Cubini and TPG, but yeah.
That's true. Listen, man, I always gave you credit. I always said, listen, F Cat doesn't follow just one thing. 1 minute, my man would be Team Luna. Next minute, he's like, Luna's gonna die. So I've always said that, man. I've always said you don't sell out for none of them. You equally hate them all. But coming in is my man, 2G. That PlayStation gamer is in.
I heard about being a sellout. What? I heard someone call me a sellout. I think that's some cat person.
I don't think he called you a sellout. He said,
No, it's not sellout.
Yeah, I don't think.
What are you guys up to?
Yeah, nothing. Just I just had my little half an hour rant, and now we are gonna start the show. And I'll talk about some games.
And Mountain Dew.
Huh?
Pizza rolls and Mountain Dew. That's where you see me like reaching for something. That's what I'm reaching for.
Pizza rolls and Mountain Dew. I like it.
Gamer diet.
I don't see Cubini around, so we might be safe, Cowboy.
Yeah, I don't know where is Cubini.
But hey, man, you speak his name, he might show up.
Well, hey, let me pull up this article on The Last of Us.
I heard words. I heard my favorite words.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? I seen you did a video on it too. Yeah, Naughty Dog. Some would say doesn't look like they're doing good.
Yeah. They're not.
Let's see. I don't know why some of my
Oh no.
why did Steam pop up? Some of my stuff is still magnified. So let me put this down.
Magnified? Oh, you mean like zoomed in?
Yeah, zoomed in. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Naughty Dog's troubled The Last of Us multiplayer spinoff reportedly on ice. So yeah, I mean, long story short, man, Naughty Dog laid off a bunch of people, and yeah, I mean, it seemed like this game.
I think I heard it was like 24 contract workers.
I think those were people that was like contracted. They did say, right? So
yeah, that's not a lot. That's not a lot compared to a lot
But it was
of
mostly focused
other
on like
studios.
multiplayer.
Ideal, what's up? Yeah, I think there's 400 employees, so it's like 10%.
Yeah, people are trying to turn this into console wars, but every studio is going through layoffs right now.
Telltale just announced a bunch of layoffs too.
Well, let me tell y'all this. My last day was Friday of my old job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I left. Well, actually, they was like, you got to leave the building. I was like, what? So they wanted me out, right? Okay, fine. I left, right? So they was paying me for the rest of the day, right? So I left. And later on, I was going to eat dinner with some of the girls I know from there, right? The people that was in my department. And the one girl was like, oh my God, you saved my life. I was like, save your life? She's like, wait till I tell you when you get here. So I get there and I was like, let me guess. I was like, somehow they was going to get rid of one of us. She was like, she looked at me like, what? She said, yo, as she gets off at 4:00 at 3:45, some of the manager walked around and tapped people and said, hey, come in the office. And everybody was in the office. They said, everybody not in this office are getting laid off today. They did a company-wide layoff.
Wow.
They got 18 branches and a headquarters, and they laid off a company-wide layoff. So the crazy thing is, her and I did the same job. So chances are one of us was getting let go. That's wild. So when people look at gaming and be like, oh, I can't believe they let people, bro, it's business. Just don't make it personal. Even the person who got let go is business. I mean, I don't know what to say, but that's crazy that even my job, it's business.
Companies are looking to cut the fat.
You got a $20 donation from Dodge,
I see it, man. My man Dodge, man. He said, you like what you like, you play what you want. I'm not a PC guy, always a console guy. They both have their flaws. Using my Series X for last gen games. Digital sales always going on there. PS5 has great quality in my book. Listen, first of all, I want to thank you for the $20 spot, Dodge Man. But more than that, thank you for helping me with my Mortal Kombat game, because Dodge Man has a cool channel. He for Mortal Kombat 1, he's been putting up a lot of stuff and other games too. He's been playing Assassin's Creed Mirage. But yeah, I learned literally the first 9 minutes of his one tutorial. I literally learned more than I learned on a bunch of other videos, and that's like was really cool. But thank you very much, Dodge Man. And I agree, man. You like what you like. And you have like the thing is people have certain reasons. Like, right, I primarily play games I buy. So I purchase games on my PlayStation 5, but I use XCloud because, dude, it's cool. Like, I like to rent games, and I could get games. You snap your finger. Well, some of the wait times, but if you pretty much snap your finger for cloud gaming, and there's your game. So when I see XCloud have a game that I had interest in, I'm like, oh, dude, I just paid $17 that month, and I'll be able to play that game. And so good stuff.
Yeah, you could pull me up, Cowboy. At the last minute, I took out the Xbox Series S Remedy thing.
Okay.
What the
I
hell?
figured that would come up with some console war stuff. But yeah, let's start off with WWE's Randy Orton paid someone $1,000 to level up his Elden Ring character.
Okay, let me be honest. Let me ask y'all this first. Have any of you guys ever paid somebody to level up a character in a game? And I'm going to start with me. So
I've seen people pay for like trials.
So
on Destiny and stuff.
Remember the gun on Destiny? It was a hand cannon called something Luna. What was it called? Man, that thing was a beast. So you had to do a bunch of like ranked stuff, ranked up and blah blah blah. And I tried and tried. I was like, dude, I can't do it. So I knew this guy, and he was like doing it for people. And dude, I paid him $35, man. Listen, bro, I can't get this gun. Could you get it for me? And he did it. I gave him the info for my account. What I did is I got rid of my password, created a new password just for him to use it. And then he used my account, got it over the weekend. I got the gun, and then I took my account back and changed the password again. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I paid. So now $1,000, but obviously Randy's he's wealthy, so $1,000 for him was probably like my $35. But have any of you guys
that ain't nothing now.
Have you ever done that?
Me no, but I've helped a friend get like a legendary weapon in Baldur's Gate or something like that. I didn't
Baldur's
get
Gate
paid,
3?
quote, yeah. I didn't get paid, quote unquote, but I got free food and a drink. So I was like,
and is that what you're eating right now?
No.
Just saying.
No, man.
Well, FCAT, did you ever pay somebody to upgrade a character or unlock something?
No.
Okay. I got whoever's a gamer, a Destiny guy. What's the name of that gun again? It's something Luna. Man, that thing was vicious. It has something where when you get 2 headshots, like the next shot was like fatal or something wicked. Like, it was powerful.
Well, the reason why we know Randy, right? The reason why Randy Orton had a hard time leveling up because he couldn't RKO someone out of nowhere in the game.
It was the voices in his head telling him to do it.
They were burning in his light.
Ideal said, imagine paying someone to level up your character. That's Epium Goofy. Oh man, bro, paid to win. Amazon Luna. No, man.
Hey, it's your money, your choice.
What was that game? What was it called? Neil's in the building. What's up, Neil? Let me see. Lethal said Naughty Dog, too many layoffs, and the person who was working on the multiplayer.
Yeah,
that one person.
Yeah, so they pretty much confirmed that Factions multiplayer is on ice.
Which it should be at this point, because listen, if they take this long to even tell us anything about it, the game's got problems. So either reset the project or cancel it.
I don't think you should cancel it. Maybe reset the project, but yeah, I feel like listen, just work on it, and whenever it's ready, just put it out.
Yeah, Bungie pretty much told them what was up with that game.
Or maybe it wasn't the Call of Luna. It's bothering me now. I don't know what that.
You're talking about Hawk Moon?
No, it wasn't the Hawk Moon. It wasn't a legendary. It was a It wasn't exotic. It was a legendary.
Oh.
Ace of Spades.
Nope, that was an exotic. Oh, hold up. Let's see who was coming in the building. Purple Haze is in the building. Give it up.
Purple Haze.
What's going on?
Can for the to hop on the stream, you pinned the wrong message, Cowboy.
Oh, did I? Damn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, Purple. I swear I need a. Oh, yes, I did. Look at that. I need like a publicist or somebody. I don't know. But okay, my bad.
I wanted to ask, like, is that even a bad thing if a company cancels a game?
No.
I say it depends on like how much progress has been made with the project. If there's very low progress being made, then just cancel it. Or if you're just
Well,
keep
but
running into issues.
I think for Purple's sake, right, or point, I think even if like man, I think what I've learned is you just let let developers do what they need to do, right? So even if they cancel a game, okay, oh well, like because at the end of the day, we just
So
play games. So let's say this game you want it so bad, factions, because I was a big fan of the first one, and then you find out, oh, they didn't show it at one of the showcases, and then oh, they Bungie said it's not ready, and then oh, you find out they're gonna put it on ice a little bit. So what? You just play another game. It's not that bad. You know, maybe that game will never see the
uh,
day of light, but it's not like that game's gonna make you stop playing video games. So I
I
mean, it
think
really, in the grand
what
scheme of
makes
things, it
it
doesn't matter.
what makes it bad for some people is the fact they kept talking about it without showing us anything.
I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter.
speaking of this topic, this actually brings up something that came up today. Well, it looks like X Defiant has been delayed
Well,
again.
oh wow. Well, hold on real quick. I want to ask Purple because Purple brought that question up and we touched on it. But what's your thoughts on that, Purple? Is it bad if a game is canceled?
No, I don't think so. I think like gaming is such a tricky business that something that was hot might not be hot when you release it, and so I firm believer that if you think it's not going to be right, you shouldn't just push through.
I
Like
agree.
so.
I think this game should be canceled now, Cowboy. You want to ask
Oh,
me
you think?
why?
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
want
Why?
to know why?
Yeah,
Because
why?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is having a resurgence. I mean, everybody's saying, "Oh, it's new, it's original." Like, they're not gonna hold up to competing against Call of Duty right now. Like, and how broken and messed up this game is, and
Mhm.
the longer the wait, like I could see this becoming like another Skulls and Bones.
You know what's hard is so each company they have a certain expectation. So in your mind, you might feel that this will never touch Call of Duty. But what if Ubisoft say, "Hey, listen, if we get 500, or let's say if we get, I'm gonna say this, if we get like 3,000 players a week, that's good for us. And maybe Call of Duty might have 500,000. I'm just making some crazy numbers. So because we don't make games, we're not developers. We might feel like, oh well, this will never touch Call of Duty, so it shouldn't come out. But the studio might be like, oh yeah, we're not trying to compete with Call of Duty. We just want to grab our own fan base and let this game become its own thing. And and we know it's never going to touch Call of Duty. So could it be that you're when you look at it and think, man, it's never gonna be what this is. Just cancel it. But they might totally look at it different.
The only reason I would say like on this one, I agree with that. I think with Call of Duty and X Defiant and Ubisoft, I think you have to look at who owns X or Ubisoft, and it could be a totally different market. I think we in the West forget that there's a whole other world, and sometimes what we think is the top tier shooter isn't the top tier shooter somewhere else, and you see that with Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty isn't the number one played shooter in the world. It's not even the number two.
Right.
So, um, and there's a reason for that. So for them to just because I wouldn't say for them to scrap it. I mean, if they have the data that says it's not doing that well, probably. But
The thing was all these people were saying, "Oh, this is going to be a COD killer. This is going to be the COD killer." No, don't say that,
Yeah, but
because
who was
once you
saying that?
say that,
I,
like that's it. That's the end of the game. Like,
well, you know what though? But I think the thing to be fair is when you look at it, right? I've always said I don't look at it as a COD killer because it was different. You had like abilities and stuff, and it was kind of like different. Like it wasn't. the like Call of Duty, when I look at it, like yeah, they had the one game where they had superpowers and all this, but this is like not the same as Call of Duty, the current Call of Duty. So I feel like it could carve its own path. It just obviously won't be as popular as Call of Duty, and who knows, you know?
Yeah, like I said, I played that recent PC playtest, and I told you
Hmm.
that it pretty much showed why it failed certification. And I'm playing, Modern Warfare 3 beta right now, and there's hackers and cheaters in the game right now using jailbroken PS4s and stuff like that. But I mean,
Well, let me touch this real quick because I am looking at the chat. So Scorpion said, I think Injustice 3 shouldn't be the game and just work with Mortal Kombat. I think the thing with that is it's the same studio, and I think if they brought out another fighting game, they would be competing with themselves. So it's smart for them to choose. Hey, either we was going to do Mortal Kombat 1 or we was going to do Injustice 3. And so, but of course, they are working on Justice 3, which will come out eventually.
so moving on, let's continue the Call of Duty talk. So this Activision Blizzard tweeted today that Call of Duty will be coming to Game Pass next year, following the Activision Blizzard deal. They also alluded that maybe the next Black Ops will be day one on Game Pass.
Hmm.
Doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
That'd be cool. I mean, why not?
I mean, it's Call of Duty. It's
Call
gonna
of Call
sell no
of Duty
matter what.
Warzone Mobile got delayed to 2024. I'm suspecting this is because they want the deal to go through.
Yeah. I mean, it's Call of Duty. Call of Duty is gonna be successful no matter what. Call of Duty could, kick down the door and shoot every person in the face, and it still be successful.
Right.
Hey, Purple. Let me ask you this though. I see that Ob mentioned what did you mean about Call of Duty? So I think, like you said, we often just think where we live at, right? Oh yeah, Call of Duty is the mega hit, right? Um, but like you said, in the whole world, right?
Yeah,
So it's like when
Counter
people think,
Strike.
huh?
Like, yeah, so like you're forgetting, like there's Counter Strike, there's Valorant, there's a lot of other, to your point, other things. Like Call of Duty is a very Western world, like that's that type of game. But when you go to other parts of the world, that's not what they want to play.
Right.
And I think we get such a bias into that mindset. Like it's a very successful game. I'm not saying that's not true, but to your point, Cowboy, um, other parts of the world, other players, they don't play it at nearly the rate.
Yeah, I mean,
Word.
it's always a perspective thing, and I think a lot of times we have to realize it's just our perspective. But if we really want to talk this and that, we have to look at hard numbers, and a lot of times we're not privy to all those numbers too. So you know, but that's why it's good to have these conversations. But sometimes it's hard to say what is truly this or what is truly that when we're civilians. When you think about it in the gaming world, you know. Well, I mean, not you, Purple, but you know.
I don't. No, I mean, you can look it up. There's enough information publicly to go see the player counts and so forth. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's not that's a pretty well known fact. Like it is. It's probably the most. I'll say it like this. It's the most successful U.S. shooter, but it's not the most successful.
When you tell somebody first person shooter or you like first person shooters, they automatically say, "Oh, you must play Call of Duty."
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's here again. Like I said, but if you were to do, like, if you were to go to Korea, if you were to go to Brazil, for example, if you were to go to any number of other countries where console gaming isn't as large of a segment, and you start leaning more into PC markets and mobile markets, Call of
China, for
Duty would.
example.
China's a great one. Like, there's a lot of them. So that's why when we were talking about Valorant, right, and why I think Ubisoft, a lot of people make fun of Ubisoft, but Ubisoft's number one minority stakeholder besides the family is Tencent. So when you think about, okay, now getting into China in that market, and now you own the gaming rights to Call of Duty, the cloud gaming rights to Call of Duty, as well as to um what's the one we were just talking about, that the X Defiant, X
Yeah,
Defiant.
Xdefiant.
I mean, you can easily put one over the other there. Like, that's how that gets played, right? Especially when you think about where cloud gaming is growing. It's not growing where Stadia was, or it's growing in these other markets. So, yeah, it's
Well, I
interesting.
think you know what the thing is. I think a lot of us gamers we think kind of linear. We because we don't do a lot of fact check. So we'll hear something, read a snippet, and just kind of go off of that. And I think that happens a lot. But so it's cool to have these talks.
So to go from this, unfortunately, I have to bring it up, but yeah.
Yeah, but we knew this was happening, right? Like, I think once you see that we talked about this like 3 weeks ago, right? Once you saw that they restructured the deal, like that was kind of the biggest thing right there. Like, there's not a lot to really push back once they restructured it.
So they're saying Friday, and they're pretty. All the articles in gaming media are pretty much saying CMA is going to approve. CMA is going to approve. But I've heard this song and dance before, and they were said it before, and 24 hours later, CMA said nope.
The difference
So
is, well, so this was the difference, and right, I made a lot of videos and a lot of things about this because I understood the process, right? There are, like, these are government agencies and they have to follow processes. And before the CMA in their preliminary findings said, no, we are not going to do it. And then there was a rumor that came out, everybody jumped on it, but that's just not how the laws works. This one is different. In the preliminary findings, the CMA said they would allow it to happen. So in order for them to say no, there would have to be other processes that would have happened between now and then. Same as back then, for the CMA to switch their no to a yes, there was going to have to be
yeah.
other things to happen, and they didn't happen. Just like now, there aren't things to signal that it isn't happening.
So so I'm also hearing EU might change their thing. They might go into another investigation, but that's after everything's approved. Also, after everything's approved, the FTC is gonna raise back their appeal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a. I think they all are getting what they want out of it, right? The FTC wants to slow down these types of mergers in the future, and if you're a company that's not the size of Microsoft, does not have that many resources at your disposal, you're going to think twice. Just because Microsoft did it doesn't mean another company can replicate that effort. If you're the EU, you want to still try to position yourself as the antitrust enforcer around the world. So you're going to, knowing that the CMA came in and basically usurped your authority, was able to pull out more of a bigger concession than you were. This now makes you look bad from a policymaker standpoint because you're no longer kingmaker. And if you're the CMA, you've already proved which everybody knew before, which is within the European bloc, when they were part of it, they were the louder voice on antitrust enforcement. And so now that they're separated, they're showing their muscles. So yeah, I think I don't doubt the EU doing that, but at the same time, I think the EU's too soft, and they are no longer the gatekeeper that they once were.
Yeah, so we got a Taiwan approval today, but I want to go down the table here, down the panel. What benefits to you if this goes through?
So personally, for me, um, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan, but I like last year's game or this year game. Wow, it's almost a year now. Last year I got this game in when it first came out via GameFly. So if once Call of Duty becomes on Microsoft Game Pass, then it will save me from using a GameFly rental. So I would be able to say, oh yeah, let me try the new Call of Duty. Other than that, because I don't really see like I can't think of an current Activision game that I'm a big fan of. If they brought back Prototype, obviously, but no, we've never heard that was a thing. So this merger or buyout doesn't affect me personally at all. Besides, oh, I'll try Call of Duty faster than I would getting it from GameFly if I decided that year to even want to try it. So that was me.
TPG.
Um, for me personally, I don't play Call of Duty games, but it's funny how Sony gives them to me like every few years. Um, I think would be interesting for me to see is what Sony does in response. Like, where are they going to spend that marketing budget? Because they aren't going to get Call of Duty after a certain point. So it's like, well, where do we go spend this money? Maybe we go spend it more on studios. Maybe we go spend it on some third party, make it timed exclusive. Hmm, That's kind of it.
For
Call of Duty's
me,
been
I
going
don't.
downhill.
Yeah, for me, I don't necessarily see the benefits right now. Maybe as a cloud gamer, I kind of see a little bit of benefits. But as a console gamer, like I own every good Call of Duty on Game Pass, and usually I buy whatever good Call of Duty. If they come out with a good Call of Duty, I see it. Whoa, that looks good. I'm gonna buy it.
Mhm.
You know, so to me personally, it doesn't affect me at all.
Well, let me let
Yeah,
Purple go, and then I'm
go
gonna
ahead, Purple.
ask
Yeah.
the question that Sour had.
Yeah, I think the only game I really played was Diablo 4 recently. I just beat that actually this last weekend. Uh, but again, like I don't really find subscriptions to be a thing for me. So I don't play Call of Duty, Candy Crush. I don't think nothing changes there. I don't think there's anything necessarily from positive or negative. It's just kind of is what it is.
The biggest difference is that at the start of the game, it'll say Xbox Game Studios. That's like the biggest noticeable change you'll see right away.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you guys this. So Sour had a question. He said, once Microsoft owns Call of Duty, do you guys prefer Halo, Call of Duty, and Battlefield take turns? Meaning 1 year Halo comes out, next year Call of Duty, then next year Battlefield, and we reset again. Well, Battlefield probably shouldn't be on there because that's EA. But
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
EA. I don't know.
Honest, Honestly, I think what you're going to see is what you already see in gaming, and that is that you're going to probably see that these games become much more similar, just a different skin,
mhm.
Yeah.
Don't
than
do that.
anything. And so I'm not a shooter, so I'm probably not the right person to ask on it,
Yeah.
but
To me personally, this is what I hope, but it's probably not going to happen. That Microsoft uses this Call of Duty money to better Xbox, but they're probably not going to do that. They're probably going to sit on their hands and just take in this money and be like, do nothing.
Yeah, if
I
that's
don't
if they're
know. But
smart, but no, Phil Spencer, he's probably going to put his hands on it a
But
little
yeah,
but
bit.
Purple Ellis actually said something you just kind of said for the future. He said he's been playing the beta of Call of Duty, and he got to say this game could have just been an update. He don't believe it's anything new. He said it may run
oh
better.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh
I
Wasn't that
yeah.
mean,
I
actually
totally
wasn't that
agree.
actually the rumor for a while
Because
that it would have been just an update to Modern Warfare 2?
dude,
Swear I heard
the
something
Call
like
of
that.
Duty beta has maps from Modern Warfare 2, like from OG Modern Warfare 2. Like,
I mean, I
Honestly,
mean,
go ahead, Purple.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if y'all think about it, Microsoft as a company, I don't really like it that much. Having worked with them before and stuff, I just don't care too much for the company. But Xbox, I have a little special place for them, and What I would say as far as gaming goes is one of the most successful acquisitions in Microsoft history has been Minecraft. And if you look at Minecraft, what did they change? Nothing, right? I think like Microsoft, what they're going to do is they just want a steady cash flow coming in and then gradually raise the profitability of that, whether that's raising the price or cutting the cost. That's their plan probably on that one. So I don't
Word.
know.
Yeah, let's move on. Speaking of Halo, guys, Halo is back.
I never knew
Yeah,
it left.
Halo Infinite Season 5 will add Forge AI and also Firefight. So people are saying, Halo Infinite might have another resurgence. We got people like Lono who says, "Oh no, Halo Infinite's dead."
So they're adding just adding a new DLC or adding some new stuff. Long story short,
Yeah, they're adding a couple new stuff.
that's cool. I always think it's cool. Like if you're if you're a player of a game, let's say it's your favorite game. I know some people don't like DLC, but I always liked when DLC came to gaming because if it was your favorite game and you finished it, you beat it, and you're like, man, I like this game. DLC always adds or update adds more to your favorite game. So whoever liked Halo, hopefully they like this DLC or this add-on, and then it gives them more reason to keep playing their favorite game. So I think it's a good thing whenever they add something new. Providing it doesn't break the game or anything.
Well, Halo Infinite never came to GFN this month, and they said
Oh
that it
wow.
fell
I
short,
am interested to
which I'm
see
pretty
if
mad about.
Halo makes some kind of comeback at this point because it does sound like it's been getting way better, especially since they got rid of the old guard there at 343. So I'm hoping so. I saw even like the Act Man made a video talking about. It. I was like, dude, if the
So
Act Man's talking about it, there's something here.
So here's a question I have for y'all with that saying Halo make a comeback. I think I could say that about like any of these OG like IPs.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that these IPs are on platforms that aren't growing player bases. Like I think player choice is changing a lot. And I think that's like probably the biggest threat to these types of IPs right now is that I mean, right now who's on this call like we're all I think over 40. Um,
Speak for yourself. I'm barely over 30.
Yeah, I was
I'm
about to
all
say
right,
beautiful.
TPG is a
all
baby.
right. So, but yeah, and so like that's the thing though. But when you look at it, console gamers are. I think they said the average age of console gamers like 36. Uh, like people are playing different things, and so I wonder if what we like, and we see this with other forms of media, right? Like eventually our numbers shrink and shrink and shrink. So it could be a thing that like it could get better, but what makes it better?
Right.
And Halo to me has always been like that multiplayer game that had a decent story and stuff, but like you're getting fewer and fewer people playing it.
Yeah, you know what? A game just can't. I mean, I would like to think eventually anything becomes stale, and I
Yeah.
think that's why I got to give credit to Fortnite. Every 3 months is their new season, and they throw something new in there. So if you're a Fortnite player, again, I'm not saying it's going to grab non a bunch of non Fortnite players, but I think what's cool is if they got a big player base, and if they could keep it feeling fresh every so often because it's a live service game. So Halo is a live service game, but it has this feeling of it could just be a multiplayer game and not necessarily a live service
Uh,
game. So I think that's the
Word.
thing with Halo. It has that, like, I remember being when I was a big Halo fan again a long time ago. It was like, oh, it was that dominant multiplayer game. But now it wants to be a live service, but it kind of felt like even when I played it with a bunch of you guys, we just played multiplayer mode and it was fun, but we didn't like play it as if it was live service. So I think that's tricky, you know.
yeah.
The thing about
Yeah,
live service games is that always has to feel like they're making some kind of progress or have some kind of story that's
Right.
progressing through the season, like Fortnite does, where it's like the where you start from the beginning of the chapter, season, whatever, and then you'll have that big event that has that huge shift, and then you get to the next chapter, so on and so forth.
So speaking of dead live service games, guys, Redfall finally gets the patch.
And did you
Cool,
see
man.
how that's doing? I saw this thing's actually not even 60.
So is
So
the patch
yeah,
out now?
yes, the patch is out now. You can change to performance mode. The game itself hasn't really changed much. It's still kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like,
And I kind of knew that from the get go. I was like, they're gonna need a lot more than just 60.
yeah,
By the
I
way, I,
think.
I just want
Go
to
ahead.
quickly ask something in the chat. Monkey Boy, are you referring to the Last of Us ongoing project or the Last of Us multiplayer for PS3 and PS4 remaster? Last of Us
Okay,
1.
just so I could control this before I get crazy. Monkey Boy, he likes to troll. He
Okay, I didn't
feels
know.
That's
he
Cloudy
feels.
V. That's Cloudy V.
No, I know who Cloudy. He feels I'm a Sony pony. So every time he comes
Is
on.
that
He
cloud?
just say, "Oh,
Yes, that
PlayStation."
validation.
Like he's just trying to troll me for some reason. I'm like, dude, I told you I play them both, but he insists. So I just
I
want to
didn't
Yeah.
let
know
you know
that.
that TPG. So he's not being, you know,
Honest.
he's just trying to get at
But
you.
on
Just
that,
trying to make him
there is a
sensitive.
rumor that they're remastering Last of Us Part Two.
Yeah.
Which I think that. So this may be the unpopular opinion, but I think that's I'm happy for that, right? Like I continue to say, like remat. If you already played the game and you beat it, that's great. But there's always a new generation of gamers who have different expectations for games, and for
Purple.
those, what,
Me and you might actually agree on something here.
what,
I think
no,
that's a good thing.
yeah, and so like if that's something that's gonna, and I continue to say like a company like Sony or Nintendo, like an actual gaming company that um if they mess up they kind of fail, um they have to try to capitalize on everything. So like for me, I haven't played The Last of Us 1 or 2, so like am I going to buy the new one? Yeah. And do I want to see it run better than what it used to run? Yeah. It's just like when I played Darksiders, like that's an old game, it was remastered like 5 years ago, but when I look at what it looked like 13 years ago, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad they did that. So I think a lot of people who are just like, hey, making fun of a company for remastering a game or updating it, like that game's not for you. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
go do something else.
You know what, Purple? I got a real life story, and I agree with you. So the last game I just finished, I just beat like 2 weeks ago, was Dead Space, and I never was a fan of Dead Space years ago when it came out. I mean, Dead Space came out like the early 2000s, late 90s or whatever, right? I never was a fan. Everybody or a lot of people I knew loved it. I just never had interest. Many years later, guess what? I get to play the remaster, and the character back then, character didn't speak. Now he speaks. The graphics look great. So I got to play, the remastered version all in all of its glory. And I was like, dude, it was a great way for me to play the game, and I never played it. So I think you hit the nail on the head. There's a such thing called a target audience. If you played and beat the original and you don't care to play the new one, then it's not for you. So I think a lot of the laughing and joking that a company is bad for making a remake, it just don't buy the game. That's all. I don't think it. I think like you
Can,
said, the main word you use is capitalize. You have to capitalize, and if people are
Anybody
buying it, then it makes sense.
can we
anybody
just
has anything else on Redfall or no?
I got nothing on Redfall. It's about
not
damn
really. I
time. That's
mean,
all.
I mean, the only thing I would say about Redfall is I think that this is a great example of a game that should have been canceled. Right, like you would have saved a lot of resources a lot earlier. Like they knew that this was going a certain direction. I could tell you the marketing for a vampire hunting game, as cool as that may sound, was never a cool idea. Like that's just not there. And so when we were talking about should a game be canceled, this is a great example of like
Well, didn't the developers want to cancel this game?
well,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's what I mean. Like this idea of like just because and I think some companies get wrapped up into this more than others. They promise, they over promise
right.
something, right? They show it's going to be something huge, and then it's like you have to deliver because you've hyped. And hype was a strategy in gaming
Oh, yeah.
for quite some time. So I understand, but right now at the cost of gaming, the limited number of resources all the studios have because of the finite number of people who have the skill set to build a game, this is a great one that, like, honestly, they should have called this not this last summer, but the summer before. When I actually saw the gameplay, I was like, this is going to be a dumb game. Like, I didn't even have to, it had nothing to do with performance or anything. The whole premise of the game is a dumb game.
I'll say this, Purple. I personally think this should have been a $39.99 game, and bam, there you go. Because I played it. I played it for a good 3 hours. I didn't think it was a bad game. It just Xbox hyped it up because it was going to be their first next gen game onto Game Pass. And that was the thing. So they made a super big deal out of it, all the marketing, but they should have just been like, oh, it's going to be our new game and it's going to be only $39.99. And your expectations would have dropped lower. You'd have been like, oh, okay, cool. This is a mid-range game. And they would have made money. People would have bought it. You would have had this whole spectacle of people trashing it. And they wouldn't even been going on and on about the 60 frames. You could have been like, oh, yeah, and later on we'll have a patch for 60. And people would have just left it alone.
Right.
That's
to quote Doc Dark, where's the 60 patch for Starfield?
Well, they never said they was getting a 60 frames.
Yeah, I didn't. If anything, they said the opposite. But to Monkey Boy, I don't think we're saying you're not troll. I think we said, yeah, they are. If that's what they're doing, that's a great, like, again, I don't have a problem when a company says we're changing a direction. That means you're actually listening to me. I actually have a bigger problem when you don't do that. Over in gaming, like, nothing, like, maybe a trend is on trend for like 2 years, and after that something else is it. So if they're changing the multiplayer aspect of that game, which, let's be real, The Last of Us was never a multiplayer
game, and I don't know why everyone was so caught up on it.
Hold up, can I let me just speak from a person who put hundreds of hours in The Last of Us multiplayer mode. It was a cool mode. Before I got into Destiny, that's all I used to play. Now, do I think it should have been live service? No, it's like we talked about Halo. It was a cool multiplayer mode. What they want to do with The Last of Us 2, the multiplayer, they wanted to make it live service. I think, again, and I think it was great for Bungie to shut them down and say, look, we don't think this will be sustainable. Like, it's one thing to just play a mode over and over because it's fun. It's repetitive fun. But live service, as we said with Fortnite, that means you have to keep bringing something new, something different to keep the player base from falling. And that I don't know if they could have did. I mean,
I don't think Naughty Dog understands that either, because they would have to keep making content for this game until they decide to shut it all down.
So we need to move on before Cubini comes in here and starts kissing up to Phil Spencer.
No, but let me do this though. Let me say something to Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy, the thing is, I think the thing is with you is I don't know why you got this fixation of me being like the super PlayStation guy, just because I know you're going back from when I bought a PlayStation. But at the end of the day, like, man, I'm just on here trying to have people come on here and talk about gaming. And I know you can't let go of this vision of me being the biggest PlayStation guy, but that's not the truth. But you could still think that, and it's fine because I can't control you. But I'm just saying, I just wanted to put that out there because TPG is a fan of PlayStation.
I actually used to think you were an Xbox guy. Which one are you, Cowboy?
You thought I was an Xbox guy because I made a video and I said Redfall isn't a bad game, but I was just shooting it down the middle. But I just wanted to say, because I didn't want TPG to feel kind of, I know he's trying to trigger me, and he's just going to, every time we bring up PlayStation, he's going to say they're terrible, they're the worst, or whatever. But
Sony sucks. They're the absolute worst. Fuck Sony.
Well, when y'all know when Cloud Validation comes on as Monkey Boy, he said this. He's ready to go. He's trolling when he's Monkey Boy, and when he's Cloud Validation, he's more serious.
Nah, but he just said he wasn't trolling. He just said nobody's trolling. So, I mean...
So speaking of PlayStation guys, what do y'all think about this? Sony Pictures Core.
I am literally actually looking at it right now, and
you know what? I think it is good if you're going to utilize it. I don't think it fits me, the type of person I am. I go to the movies almost every week. I just seen 2 movies this past weekend. By the time these services get movies, I've already seen them in the movie if I had interest in them. So for me, it doesn't fit me, but I think it's good for the people who it will see value in it.
So they included this couple old classics with the PS
Mhm.
Plus Premium,
I think
and
it's premium
honestly,
and extra. Yeah,
y-
you get it
yeah,
both, either one.
yeah, but they got some old
Dude,
movies
I'm looking at
probably
this
saw
list
already.
and
They,
it's
they also got some.
okay.
They also got some movies that's not so old too. I give them credit. They got some movies that I seen in the movies not that long ago.
Cowboy, the biggest
Yeah,
movie they have on this damn list right now, I'm looking at, is Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance, and fucking Hancock.
No, let me put when I
yeah.
went.
So they had Black Dynamite on there
Oh
to
yeah,
Okay,
and
talk
some
okay,
of
about.
hold on,
the
Xavier.
some of the okay, actually I'll admit, because I'm a Godzilla fan, this actually is kind of cool.
Mhm.
Some of the Sony Godzilla movies, they put 1998 in there. If you know anything about that movie, you could go suck the biggest fucking goose egg of them all. And Lords of Dogtown. Okay, that's actually a pretty good movie.
So it,
Yeah,
I mean, I like
Oh,
to me,
Micro's on here too. That's actually a pretty
I'm
good one.
I'm
Go
okay
ahead.
with like they're obviously trying something out, right? And we know
right.
that Sony Picture. I've always said Sony's an entertainment company. They're a hardware entertainment company. So they're trying something out. If it catches on, obviously they're going to invest more in it. But in reality, what they're doing here is the exact same thing that if you think about Netflix is trying to do, but in reverse, right? Sony has the AAA games and has the subscribers on that, and they're trying to bring the movies in. Netflix has it the other way around, right? Netflix has it; they have the movies, and they're trying to build up that subscriber base. You could say the same thing about Apple. You could say the same thing about what Google is trying to do with Stadia. Heck, you can even say this is what Microsoft is trying to do in the Xbox One era. So I think Sony, if anyone can pull it off, it's probably them, seeing how they have both top tier content in both categories.
So, question to everybody: should Game Pass come out with their own streaming service?
I,
Because,
isn't Game Pass a streaming service?
Yeah.
No, I mean like their own movie streaming service
but okay,
instead of
here's the
like
difference between what
instead of like
why
the
Sony's
little
doing this.
perks where you can get a free movie here and
Well,
every
it
other month or whatever.
when you ask that question, it depends on if you own content, right? So you can't say like, oh,
Bingo.
should Toys R Us come out with their own movies? It's like, well, they don't make movies, right? So it depends on how many movies you made, so you can have a big library. Like a lot of people give Sony PlayStation Plus credit because they have a large library of exclusive
They own
content, right?
Crunchyroll.
Right. So
Wait,
it
wait,
depends.
doesn't Microsoft own the Halo TV show? And
No, it's
No,
Paramount.
that's it. Paramount. Yeah, Microsoft owns the. Yeah, you knew that. Uh, no, I think Microsoft right now, if you look at it, they're kind of like they've doubled down on gaming as getting into your home, right? Like you have Amazon's doubled down on football, Google has doubled down on basketball, Apple has doubled down on soccer. All of them also have their own way of getting content, right?
Mhm.
Um, whether that's video on demand or their own content. So Microsoft is really they would have to go out and buy someone.
And that's gonna
Uh,
take way too long for
You know,
them
and they
to.
probably, yeah, and to tell you the truth, who could they go out and buy right now to add to their, like, this is why I think the FTC, people make fun of them for what they're doing, but what they're actually doing is they're making Microsoft almost have to agree that they're not going to do something else again. So um it's like Microsoft is doubling down where they have an advantage. I think Sony is somewhat smart. If they can make this land, they're going to be the
Mhm.
first one to do it.
My suggestion for
word.
Sony would be do this plus add Crunchyroll on top, dude. You'll actually get more
Yeah,
PlayStation
they
Plus
did.
subscribers.
That's
Really,
exactly what they
when
did.
they
They
do the
put
Crunchyroll thing.
Crunchyroll. They added this and Crunchyroll
Yep.
in PS Plus.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
as
that. Well, I need to claim it then.
and as Murder Man said, like adding something new to my subscription is always a plus.
And I want to
So
also say, I want to say hi to David Wilson is in the building, and hashtag Media Guys in the building. And thank you for watching my Exorcist review. I appreciate it.
Yeah, since we
Yeah, how
got
was that
media
movie, by the
guy,
way? I'm kind of
since we
curious
got
about it.
media guy in the house,
Yeah, I thought it was
man,
pretty
we
good,
gotta
man.
bring up the big cloud news, guys. That's right, Amazon Luna, you can now buy games.
That's cool, man. Let me start off by changing my course with Luna. I felt Luna was going downhill.
Luna.
I felt Luna was gonna die, but even though they made even though they did expansion, I was like, that's not good enough. But you know what? I think Amazon is gonna do this. This is what I think. Luna be kind of bare bones. They're gonna give you the option of purchasing games, especially they're already on Ubisoft anyway. You're probably gonna see you could buy a lot of Ubisoft games if you want and not have to pay for the subscription. And I think they're just gonna and Luna's just gonna be something that's just uh a service that's on Amazon's,
So,
list of things. But I think they're gonna just let it sit there, and later on when cloud gaming is popular, you at least have heard of Luna, and then they could spend the extra money to make it what it could be. That's my
so
opinion.
first Luna came out and said you can buy these games and play them without the subscription. Then they had to go and change that after I said something. I said, no, you still need a subscription to play that game, Brody. But yeah, you're basically buying the PC Ubisoft
yeah,
Connect version.
yeah.
You're not
So
buying the Luna only version, which would have been an issue.
yeah. So Luna, and that's exactly right. And shout out to hashtag media guy. I always, when I think of Luna, I think of him because he's the only
Yeah,
person I know who plays it.
for real.
Uh, but that's exactly right. So Luna is actually doing it a little bit differently. Like they're all learning from each other, and Luna's more or less acting kind of like we actually haven't seen this really. Is you still have to buy it from the storefront from Ubisoft. Like it's the PC portion. You just can play it for free on Luna. So essentially, what we were thinking about when Stadia, we were saying like, "Yo, wouldn't that be cool if you could like buy a PC game and play it on Stadia in the cloud?" That's essentially what Luna is. And so it's kind of like a different market in a way, and it should be interesting if that one takes hold. Because if that does take hold, you could almost assure that that's going to cut into something like a GeForce Now. Because if you think
Right.
right now, right, because GeForce Now you have to pay to stream to stream those games. Luna, if you were only
Unless
playing,
you're on the free tier.
Yeah,
unless
unless
you're on your free, but you probably wouldn't get the same fidelity or
nope.
instance that you get on Mirage. So if you are just an Assassin's Creed, if you are just a Ubisoft player, right, it behooves you to go with Luna over GeForce Now. And so why does this make sense? Like, why is this kind of interesting? Because who just now picked up the entire ABK library to stream?
Huh.
Ubisoft, right? So
That's wild.
now, if you're like thinking about through the two things, like that is a long term play, right? So yeah, I think the biggest news for this is someone who is a GeForce Now soul person who's promising up and down that's the way. Well, yeah, that GeForce Now is $20 a month. This one is not that.
That's interesting. As far as the game, has any of you played the game? I've heard mixed things about it. I'm
Assassin's Creed
personally,
Mirage.
yeah, I haven't been excited for well, I mean, I'm super excited for it, but when I watched the video of it, it did get me excited. I didn't like the newer Assassin's Creeds. This is more my speed. Part one, part two, part three, where it's methodical. You're creeping behind people. You got missions to kill somebody without being seen. Where the newer ones, you could just run down and kill anybody and fight off everybody, which is cool. But so this looks cool to me, but I haven't played it yet. Or you guys have any interest in this?
Oh yeah,
Nope.
yeah.
No.
Assassin's Creed 2 is my favorite. And so
Nice.
they say this is like the first and the second. I'm hoping more like the second, but no, I streamed that this is one of my most look forward to games on this half of the year, and I look forward to playing this around December. So
Nice.
We're so we're gonna talk about all platforms, guys. So there's been a lot of Switch 2 talking going
Oh
around.
God.
Yeah.
The
Says this
fucking
says the
rumors
Switch
center
2 is
again.
going to have a monster library of ports. It better.
Yeah.
It
Well,
better.
well, I
If they
so I
want me buying it, it better.
so I think a lot of people are making fun of they make fun of a lot of things, right? But you heard recently the Rockstar port, right? We heard that recently. We
The
recently
Red Dead
saw
one.
Red Dead 1 Crate. We've seen the ones with the Metal Gear Solid ports, right, to Nintendo. We've seen recently, a few years ago, but still there, is CD Projekt Red. Um, so what is all that doing? All those studios and publishers are prepping, in my opinion, for Switch 2. So I definitely believe it's going to have a monster library. And I think what's actually going to be the big game changer is I do actually believe that they're going to have backwards compatibility with the Switch.
I hope
So,
so.
so that to me is going to be the game changer. And I
Or you're gonna
continue
get a
to,
port of a port of a port.
My only thing with the Switch 2 is I feel it's not going to grab that many new people. I feel like it's going to grab the same audience, which hey, it sells like crazy. But I feel like, let's say me, who stopped buying Nintendo products since the GameCube, I don't think it will pull me in because they're smart. So I'm telling you, the console wars drive me crazy because it's just getting dumb. But it's a console war because it's like, oh, look how powerful this is. Look at the graphic fidelity. Look at 60 frames. You don't got 60 frames. You don't got 120. Switch, the Nintendo's smart enough to say we don't play that game. So they come in later on, and like again, Switch 2 is going to come out, and obviously it's not going to be the power of these new consoles. So some people who played some of these ports that they're going to get, they're going to be like, all right, well, I already played them before. But if you was a diehard Switch guy, you can be like, no, this is great for me. Because like Purple said earlier, and I was able to play a remaster of Dead Space, and now it looked better than it looked back then. But I don't feel this does anything for the person who isn't in that ecosystem. And that's not a bad thing. But
I mean, just Nintendo does what Nintendo wants to do. They don't
yeah,
give a shit
it's
about the
smart.
rest of the industry. I
No, I
mean,
think they
I
are
know
smart though.
that comes off as like sour grapes and everything, but like Nintendo, they literally could shit gold. Or weren't they trying to sell people cardboard at one point with the Nintendo
Yeah.
Labo or whatever? Proof. Nintendo doesn't fail. They succeed at everything. I don't
oh,
like Nintendo because of how they
not the
treat
Wii
content
U. I
creators.
mean, they almost went under with the Wii U, right? So like, I don't think they.
I don't think they would
I,
have gone. I don't think they would have gone under. I think they would just had to suck that L up and just move on.
oh, they
That's what they
didn't
did.
go under, right? Right, that's what they did. But I'm saying like they couldn't afford that two times in a row.
Right.
No,
That's the thing.
so that's why they were smarter with this. The Switch
Yeah.
One, it was like, hey, just make good games and stop trying to make everything overcomplicated.
Well, I mean, they're smart. They listen. Their primary characters, you don't need
Mario, Zelda.
crazy graphics, right? You don't. I mean, look how dated the Switch is, right? And I still think Zelda's probably going to take Game of the Year. I think Nintendo my issue with Nintendo is their greatest strength. My issue is I feel they don't have the great third party support because a lot of third party companies they don't want to have many different SKUs, right? But they don't never have to get into that back and forth war, and they could just streamline to their player base, and their player base like what they get, and the extra third party support that they get, which isn't high like PlayStation or Xbox, but that's like a bonus for their fan base. So it's an actual brilliant strategy in gaming, and that's why they're so successful. It just
They
won't grab
they live and
everybody.
die by their IPs. That's really their that what keeps them in the game for so long.
Yeah, it's such a
As
hook,
long
line,
as
and sinker.
Mario's still pulling in money in Zelda, they're gonna keep making those games.
Of
And
course.
then, God, who's the guy that made Mario? I forget his name. Just trying to remember the guy's
Don't
name.
know.
All I know is the day that guy, he croaks or retires, that's the day Nintendo's gonna actually have to make a new IP.
Well,
The voice
actually,
actor is already
they already switched out the creative director, so most of their new IP, most of the
Well, I
new
know
games coming.
he's more of an ambassador
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
company.
and he's like helped them with their theme parks right now. But no, I think Nintendo's playing
Wasn't
the
he
long
like the
thing.
big guy behind the Mario movie too? Like he was the real big pusher for that.
Mm, I didn't read that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, the voice of Mario, the guy that was doing his voice for so long, passed away, right?
Now you're
So
tired.
So the one thing I always said, if Destiny 2 came to the Switch, I will buy a Switch. If the Switch 2 can handle Xbox One, PS4 quality games, then hell yeah, Bungie can find a way to put it on the Switch.
It could be on the Switch, but it's gonna make a lot of compromises. Like I
No,
don't
this
think
is
because I
people are
mean,
what
gonna get it.
PS4, Xbox One quality.
if they wanted to have a super system, right? A system because I think they have the best console. I think the concept is the best, right? You talk about we all get into the PlayStation Portal when you leave the house, it's gonna be dead. Same thing I said about the Steam Deck. Oh well, then you'll be able to get your mobile data in a hotspot. But talk about genius. So you got a console that you plug up at home on your TV or your lap or your monitor or whatever. But then you just unhook it and walk out the door and you can still play your games. Now, it's not going to be the games online, but still, if you could play your, like you said, if you, let's say you was playing Destiny and you just want, you like, you know what, I just want to do a bunch of farming and I'm going away. So you didn't have to play online. I know Destiny's an online game, but for the sake of, for the illustration. So I always thought the Switch idea was amazing. As my only handheld I paid money for was a Sega Nomad, which the Switch is. And so I think it's genius. What I think would be amazing is if they was able to make a portable console that had the graphics of PlayStation 4, Xbox One, but then when you hooked it up to your TV, the output was like the PS5 or Xbox Series X. That would be stellar because then you could still have the exact same game that you bought, that same version, and you could see it better at home, but just lower on the go. But you wouldn't have to buy two games like back in the day. Reason why I only ever owned one handheld because I never liked where on Nintendo you had Mario, and then if you had a Game Boy, you had to buy the same game, that version. Oh, you had Tekken on the PlayStation, but then on the PSP, you had to buy that version. I didn't like that you had to have the same game, but two different
You
versions, right?
basically what it sounds
So
like
what?
is you want a universal account.
Well, no, it's
Like
Yeah.
what the Switch does now. It's what the Switch does literally now. But if they was able to up the resolution when you was at home, then it could compete with the big boys. But obviously on the road, to have a handheld to have that graphical fidelity would be crazy expensive. It wouldn't make sense.
So
That Mhm.
yeah, so all I was gonna say, Cowboy, is like you know the one thing that could make that happen, right?
Cloud gaming,
Right, and y'all know who did cloud gaming the best. Well, let's not say the best, but most conveniently
right?
recent. And you know who does Nintendo's backend.
Yeah.
So, but
Ubisoft.
no, and who does Ubisoft?
Google.
Exactly. So there, I think potentially you may see that come true.
I mean,
Ah.
honestly, they would have the best of both worlds then. They would have their portable console. You could play at home. If you want to say, like, oh, well, I want to download my games or whatever, then there you go. But if you wanted that boost, then you could have the cloud version, which would be
But
crazy.
didn't Stadia say they weren't going to give the tech to competitors?
Uh, Google. So Stadia Tech probably went to a phone company, right? But I would say Google and Nintendo and Ubisoft are not competing with each other, right?
Ah. So, yeah, that's pretty much all we got. The only other news I have is Unity CEO is stepping down.
good.
Well, I have something I want
After
to
that
bring up.
shitstorm.
Let's bring this up, which is interesting, right?
I'm
There
just
was a
surprised
lot of
Cubini hasn't
hearsay,
popped up.
but look at this. The
Oh yeah.
PlayStation Portal actually did amazingly well in sales. And there was a lot of people saying, "Why buy it? It's gonna be dead on arrival. There's no point." But I always said that there's a target audience, and I'm sure they know that they're not gonna manufacture millions and millions. That they're looking for a target audience, which is, I said, it was two things. If you owned a PlayStation 5 and you already utilized remote play, right? So this came out, and it sold out like all over, and so
So
but
yeah, so the only thing I would say about this one, Cowboys, we're missing a very important piece. Like I like to understand, like when companies put out things about their products, I always look at it skeptically. And there's
okay,
one piece of information that we're actually missing that makes that we assume with this,
right.
which is what
The numbers.
the number. What does sold out mean? Did they only have 1,000
No,
and
no,
they
Yeah, that's a
sold
fair
it?
point.
I already covered that. Like I said they have a target audience for the people who have a PlayStation 5 and the people who use remote play. I'm sure they have enough money to do that to do the research, right? The marketing on that, and I'm sure that's how many units they put out. They probably actually didn't even put that much out. They
Yeah,
put
that's what I'm
out
saying.
like,
I wonder if they artificially raised, like,
Okay, so
if you
like
think,
for example, if a store only got like 10 of them and they sold out, it's like, well, is that really a
right.
big
Well,
thing to be
yeah,
proud of?
but
but
again, it makes sense, right? Like if you just listen to what I'm saying, right? Not the
Yeah, I
yeah,
know what you're
fanboys
saying.
that's like, oh, well, it only sold. Why would it sell? Again, when people felt it was going to be dead on arrival, I kept saying, I bet you they're not even going to manufacture that many. Like people, like the thing is this, right? It doesn't need to sell as much as a Switch. What it needs to do is sell as much as the target audience, right? Like not everyone loves electric cars yet, right? So they don't manufacture that overabundance of electric cars. Why? Because they're not selling, like that many people aren't buying them yet. So you start off and you manufacture your target audience. And I bet you they even undercut that because probably everybody who was the target audience don't want to spend $200. They're probably going to say, I'm already doing what this could do and I'm okay with not having these features. So I think it's great to see it sell out, meaning that enough people that like me that just want this device, they're going to be able to have this device. And the people who don't like it, say it's going to be trash and this and that, I kept saying, well, it's not for you. And then it's just not for you. So I don't think we need a great number, because I don't think a great number has to be had. I just think that showed who really wanted this went out and pre-ordered it.
I
yeah, no.
think if this thing sells like 2 million or 3 million, that'd be a success to Sony because I can't imagine it costs them that much to make this thing.
Yeah. So for me, I always saw this device as actually testing the waters to a bigger device. And so that's what I was actually saying. Like I wasn't trying to get into the fangirling or
Right, right,
fanboying
right.
of one thing. What I
The
was saying
fanboy
is,
speculation.
yeah, what I'm actually saying is, I think you're exactly right. I think they undercut this and they need this to be seen as a positive, right? Because I think there is bigger and grander plans for Sony handhelds market. If we look at this device, it is a very bare bones device. It is a device where you can do remote play.
Yep.
If we think about what the market for handhelds in general is, it's obviously larger than just Sony remote play. So, in my opinion, Sony needs this product to be viewed as a limited quantity, right? That drives up demand. If we think it's, oh, scarcity, I don't want to
Right.
miss out. But also, if we think about the long term, what do we always say about Stadia and why Google potentially can never come back with Stadia? Because you left the market or because Stadia was seen as dead, right? This
Right.
is what FCAT used to say, kill Stadia because the name is dead. So if I was someone on the Sony marketing team, I would deliberately undercut this, knowing that in about a year to 2 years, I am actually going to come out with something that can compete with the likes of, and we just talked about it, probably what's going to be its biggest competition in the Switch too.
Mm-hmm.
All I gotta say about the Portal is that it's essentially this with no touchpad and just a big screen on it.
No, it has a touchpad.
That's how
It
most
has
people are
touch-
going to view it, at least.
No, the screen is a touchpad. They have a touch
Oh, it
area
has
on both.
this thing on it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
on the screen, like you could, like with my phone, when I do remote play on my phone, the top of my phone becomes a touchpad. When you touch it, it literally shows the touchpad that you just touched, but it's on your screen. So they have two on the fold. It's to the left and it's to your left of it's right by your thumb, both thumbs. So you just move your left thumb to the right a little bit, your right thumb to the left a little bit, and it comes up. You gotta watch my video, man. It's in there.
Yeah, and I wanna address Sour Blow where he says I would like to
Oh
listen.
yeah.
People who talk about Google Cloud being the best, but let's be honest, how many people run their servers? I don't care how many people run their servers, right? What I care about was that I played the game and it felt like a cloud console, right? And that's the bottom line. It's not my
Yeah.
fault if someone did not have the server space to do that. I don't need to know that as a gamer,
Yeah.
right?
Stadia ran awesome, but I
Awesome.
mean, GeForce Now. I
Yeah,
mean, did
GeForce
it
Now is
a little
usurped.
better.
Yeah.
You know. Let's be
And
honest here.
Boosteroid, and let's name them all. Boosteroid,
Oh
depending, right?
no. No.
Depending on who you are, right?
Just cut
But
it out.
but Luna to me didn't run as well as Stadia. For a while, GFM didn't run as well as Stadia. X Cloud, we made a huge deal about they're using Xbox Blades. That didn't run right now. It's like, oh, how many people are on their server? It's like there's always this like goalpost moving, and just let's call it what it is. If it doesn't run as well as it is, that's objectively a thing. I don't care about the back end. That's not my thing. My thing is just put out a price. Thank you, Remy. I'm getting to that, and I pay for it. So that's all I have to say about that.
No,
Yeah,
I agree.
and the reason why not a lot of people were on it was because they hid the whole free tier thing.
Yeah, if you got the chance, if you was fortunate enough to not just play Stadia but really give it a chance, because there's people who played it and was like they already had it in their mind like it wasn't for them. But if you played it and gave it a chance, you would have really see that Stadia was amazing. It was a beautiful piece of tech. And like I said, I was a diehard PlayStation guy, and I stopped playing PlayStation to play Stadia. So that just says a lot. So I at least know that cloud gaming is real and it works. Whenever I hear some of my friends or people say, well, eventually when cloud gaming is ready, I'm like, no, it is ready now. But if you're saying the world, then no, we can't say the world. But guess what? The whole world don't all have renewable energy either, So it's but I know that cloud gaming is real and it works. So
Still
that's cool
using
for
them
me.
dead dinosaurs.
So,
but no, just
I mean, as of right now, like cloud gaming still doesn't look like it would become the standard.
it's gonna be
well,
a
yeah,
while.
it's
till we
way
get to
too
that
early
point.
to say that. Way too early to say that, right? Like, just think how many years it took music for streaming music to be the standard, right? Just think of that. Fathom how long it took. And so just be fair. That's all. All you gotta do is ask people to be fair. If it took that long, just know that gaming is way more to process than just
It's
the
gonna be a
music being
very hard
streamed.
time for a lot of people to not want a piece of plastic in their house. Because
I-
when people think gaming, they're thinking consoles and PC. They're not thinking services yet.
So I equate it to just any other thing, right? Like look how long it took like electric vehicles to pick up, right? And now we
They're
see
still
that
taking a long time.
well, depending on what state you are, like in California right now, Tesla has overtaken Toyota as the number one vehicle sold there. They just announced
Oh.
that for this last quarter. So and Tesla's been in California since 2014. So or let's look at one of the big things that used to happen around Thanksgiving in the United States is what Black Friday. Even though Amazon's
Black
been
Friday,
here,
more like Black Month, because that's when they spread the sales out.
but still, like for the longest, like you still had Amazon, but all the way up until like 2014, 2015, 2016, Black Friday was still a thing. It's only now been like try going somewhere on Black Friday. It's like going to be super calm. It's not like it was.
I think
20, 18 years ago.
I think what killed Black Friday is fucking COVID because people couldn't go shopping on Black Friday, or
Yeah,
they
Well,
didn't
no,
want to
but
take the
people
risk.
people bounce back since COVID. It's a mindset thing. It
yeah,
just
it's takes
people like
time.
It's
to
a matter of
order on.
convenience versus inconvenience.
Yeah, and so same thing. You could then say the same thing for just cutting the cord versus not cutting the cord on cable, or
Dude, I have not had
CDs
cable
versus
and
MP3s versus
Yep.
streaming. Like it takes, if you actually, there's been quite a bit of studies on how long it takes for a new technology to pick up,
Yep.
and it
Oh,
usually it's about 10
friends.
years.
My grandparents are still paying for cable. I'm like, you guys don't even watch TV anymore.
Because
We,
that's
we
that's
watch a
all they know.
football
That's
game
all they
like
know. Yep.
$50 for $50 a
Yeah.
month for a football game. Come on.
Yeah, that's what they know. It's like people saying, "Oh, the cloud will never be as good as something you download." Right? That's all they know. So you just would think
But as
that.
the newer generation comes in, it's more accepting of this new technology. The easier it migrates
And
into.
that's why some of these companies, I think if companies listen to people just console warring, they would lose money, because
Oh,
there's a big future out there. And yes, today you might say, oh yeah, well, it's never going to do that, but they know, they pay millions of dollars to do market research, that there's a future for some of this stuff right now. So
never
like
say
Purple said,
never.
yeah, never say never. Like Purple said with the PlayStation Portal, that's like a concept. You know what I mean? It's a concept. Trust me, there's a
Concept for
bigger
potentially
thought.
something bigger down the road.
So to change the subject, what do y'all think of this month's October PlayStation Plus games?
No Last of Us Part 2, like the rumor was.
Do you have a picture of it? I know we put it in the Discord. I see.
So Alien Isolation, Gotham Knights, Dark Pictures and
I want to
Anthology,
bring.
Disco Elysium, Far, Gungrave Gore, Dead Island, and Elite Dangerous.
I just want to bring this up. Gotham Knights was being touted by certain Xbox people out there that it was going to be the Spider-Man 2 killer because it was coming to Game Pass.
What?
Yeah.
Why would you even recite that? That's obviously
Well,
it's
now
Really?
it's, now,
that's
now,
not even
now, now
that's
it's
not even
coming to
worth
PlayStation
even
Plus.
talking about. I just hold up real quick. When I hear you say that, I'm like
Oh, I'm just
not
having
even
fun,
worth
man. I'm
wasting.
just having
It's
fun.
like that's just
That's
so
a
silly.
pretty dumb narrative.
Yeah, like
comparing
that's
Gotham Knights to Spider-Man 2 is like comparing a Ryan Orange to a
yeah,
healthy
but
orange you
I
just
would if
bought at
I
the
was
store.
you, I wouldn't even that's so laughable. It's like I feel bad even bringing that up. Like,
Well, you didn't bring it up. I did, so I feel
okay,
stupid.
well, fair enough.
Stupid TPG.
I was trying to find the
So yeah, they
trying to
got
find
that
picture.
game Gungrave Gore, which was
Do you,
pretty
do you have the
bad.
picture?
No,
Do you have the picture?
I
no,
don't think
sure
there's a
don't.
picture yet. I think it's just
Yeah, there's no picture
someone
yet.
leaked the list.
Yeah.
Alien Isolation, though, that's a game I've actually been
Yeah, I
wanting
was
to
watching a
try.
video on the different games. Alien Isolation, I will mess with. I will
Okay,
try it
so but
out.
that's an interesting list too, because that's supposed to be for extra and premium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
mean,
yeah.
premium games in it.
maybe
There's no.
Last of Us Part 2 might be like a
Yeah, because
trial. They might
the
do a
reason why that
trial.
whole rumor got kicked up is because someone spied on
Yeah,
PlayStation Plus this day and it
good
showed The Last
picture.
of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Here's
It might
the
be a trial.
list right here. Let me ask you guys: do you have any interest in any of the games on the list?
Gotham Knights, kind of, because I gotta play the Batman games because I'm a
But I
Batman.
mean, that's already on Game Pass.
But I don't have Game Pass.
Yeah,
PlayStation
Oh.
Plus.
we can't always say that.
Yeah. Alien
So Gotham Knights.
Isolation, I heard it's pretty good.
Mhm.
The Dark Pictures, I think they've been giving those out every so often on PlayStation.
Mhm.
It kind of looks interesting. Like, God, what's that game that came out? Was it Until Dawn? I'm thinking of the
You
horror
might be thinking
one.
about Until Dawn, the Quarry. It's a bunch of those.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Far never seen.
My question is, PlayStation was giving away like banger games for a good while. Now it's kind of like dozed off.
Well, it's a matter of contracts. Like, what can
Yeah, I
you
mean,
get them to sign on to
and
essentially
then
giving away?
And then here's the thing: it depends on who's saying what's the banger. For me, PlayStation saved my life. I mean, but it ain't saved my life. But you know how much I was saying I wanted to buy the Callisto Protocol. For me, I'm good because they made that
Yeah,
game.
that's actually a
Good
pretty
play.
damn good one. I heard.
Yeah, it really is. But as far as these games, I played Gotham Knights. See, this is my issue with these subscriptions. Usually, if I have an interest in a game, I would have already played it. So I played Gotham Knights when it first came out. I don't the Dark Ashes. Maybe I'll play it with my wife. I don't know.
Maybe we'll
Disco
finally get Jedi
Elysium
Survivor
came
one
out,
day.
huh?
Maybe we'll finally get Jedi Survivor.
Well, I played that a long time. That was free on Stadia. No, not that was Jedi Fallen Order. But Disco Elysium that came out way back when on Stadia. I wasn't a fan of it then. I don't know what the Fargrave is. Gungrave, I played that on Game Pass a long time ago. Elite Dangerous, don't know. Dead Island looked cool, but I guess in my head it's like I've never been a fan of them. And if I was gonna play a Dead Island, I would
Yeah,
like to
I
play
bought the
part two.
second Dead Island 2. It's
Yeah. And
So,
it's okay.
but the
so,
Alien Isolation, I watched a video of that today, and that I will probably play because it's like a horror game.
so, so for me, I think like to me, I don't even have PlayStation or anything, but I could see where this is a solid list, right? Dark Pictures, right? I play all of them, right? I stream those. A big fan of Supermassive. Disco Elysium. It's a game I had on Stadia. It's actually a really highly rated game. I get it if it's not your type, top down, not your type of game, but it's like one of the most highly rated games
Yeah, it is.
in Metacritic. Far Changing Tides was on Game Pass. It's actually that's the second in the Far series. It's a puzzle game. I buy those games just because I like to support that developer and stuff. So Dead Island, Definitive, like I could see where this is solid. It has something for several different types of gamers.
Mhm.
And these are like solid games for any of those categories if you like that type of game.
You know what game I'm kind of surprised? I don't know if they've given away yet, but I'm surprised they haven't given away that Predator game. It
Oh
wasn't
yeah, I'm
Concrete
surprised.
Jungle, Hunting
Yeah,
Grounds,
surprised
something
with
like
that.
that.
Yeah,
That would be
that's my.
like something nice to throw on here, especially for
Yeah,
October.
yeah, I love that game, man.
Maybe by the same developers that did Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
Oh, you
love
got
that
a
game.
donation there, Cowboy.
What'd you say about it?
It says you got a donation here, $2.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, my man 503 Gaming. Thank you for the $2, man. I appreciate it. A Cowboy Feet Stank. Hey yo, I didn't even take my shoes off today, man. I didn't even
Don't
didn't take
tempt
them
him.
off yet.
Don't tempt fate.
I was going to. Uh,
50 needs to stop stalking people in GameStop.
Okay, I will say I misread this whole thing because at first when I saw that far, I thought it said Fear for some reason. I'm like, the Fear game, the original? No,
those was cool.
damn,
Um,
those were good games.
well, look what Rune said. Rune said the full list, hopefully, will be there in 2 games, or the full list in 2 days.
Yeah,
So
because they
hopefully,
normally like to see that the one thing that makes this list so weird is like there's no classics in there, as far as I could tell. Like the PS1 classics,
Mhm.
they just they've been
yeah,
dropping the
well, he
ball
said
on
the
that
full
shit
list
too.
comes out in 2 days, so maybe.
I
Um,
want Blasto, damn it, Blasto,
yeah,
Blasto.
yeah. My issue is I'm a kind of play it and move on gamer. So for me, like it's like how I am in movies. When a movie come out, I typically see it in the first 2 weeks. So I miss the first 2 weeks, then I kind of like lose a little bit of interest, and I just told me I wasn't that interested. So with games, I try to watch trailers and like listen to people, and if it doesn't spark my interest, like a game has to be when my interest is peaked, it gets on my GameFly list, and then I'll eventually play it. If it doesn't make my GameFly list, chances are I just don't really care to play it. So like Gotham Knights, I played it already. When people are clamoring for The Last of Us 2, I done played and beat that day one. I got it day one.
Yeah,
Um,
you're pretty much like if I'm interested in it, I'm buying it or renting it.
yeah,
But for
yeah,
me,
but
I kind of use like PlayStation Plus, be like, maybe it'll be the
that's
game
cool.
I'm not interested in.
That's cool.
So,
Yeah, that's good
uh,
stuff.
Gotham
All
Knights.
right, guys. Well, look, man. I think that was pretty good. We got through everything. Want to thank FCAT for bringing up a bunch of topics. Good stuff. Yeah, I want to thank Purple for coming on. I want to thank TPG for coming on. Could you guys shout out your stuff? TPG, tell us where the people can find you, man.
Oh, you guys can find me at that PlayStation Gamer. I just posted up a video about talking about Starfield. How I think it kind of got smushed by this whole end of this year. I'm probably gonna start Spider-Man 2 live streaming the day it comes out, or technically the
Nice.
day before. And yeah, I just post when I wanna. I don't have
Okay.
schedules.
Fair enough. And what about you, Purple?
Purple Haze. I have a show every Thursday, Shades of Purple, where I alternate between interviewing someone or talking to the community. And I do a game stream on Sundays. And I just beat Dragon. It was a game of the year in Norway a few years ago. And so I'm about to start a new game or finish Alan Wake. So I haven't finished that. Yeah, that's I'll probably be going out of town for the rest of the year just because I'm traveling a lot. So
Cool.
that's
Oh,
me.
shit.
But
It's the
you'll
holiday
still be
season.
streaming.
Some of them, like I obviously the gameplay ones, I won't. So
Okay.
the last 2 weekends in October, I won't be here, but I'll try to do the Thursdays.
Cool. Well, guys, I took the liberty to put the links to both of them in the chat. And you could definitely check out their channel. I know sometimes FCAT, you ever gonna be streaming again on Twitter?
He hasn't talked in a while. Maybe he left.
He hasn't talked about. Fair enough. Well, with that being said, guys, I don't want to kill ya. I like to do 2 hours. If I could keep doing these 2 hours, it's cool for me because when I end this, I have time to play some video games before I hang out with my wife. I am currently trying to beat Atlas Fallen. Purple, I remember telling you about it. I was excited for it, but I had a lot of patience. It came out August 10th, and I waited and waited to get it on GameFly because I just feel like it looked cool, but I need to have it in my hand. So I will say this: it feels very dated. It has great looking graphics, but the gameplay is like, God of War 1-ish, God of War 2-ish, kind of, or not a little around there, kind of. And so I don't recommend it being a purchase, but I think it's a fun game to play. The traversal is fun. You just glide in on the sand is addicting. It's addicting way to move. That's what I liked about Forspoken. Her running and parkour was always fun traveling versus, riding on a horse, or some games you got to walk. So I think that's what's cool about Atlas Fallen, but it falls short with the story, and it falls short with the gameplay is okay, but I think they have an interesting system where it's risk for reward. The longer you keep fighting and not use your specials, you get stronger. But when you get hit, you take a lot more damage. So you're like, oh, I want to do this big, powerful special, but if I get hit and I'm not dodging and parrying, I'm gonna die. So it's like, I've heard somebody did a review and it sound cool, but when you play it for yourself, you're like, it's kind of not that cool. It's a little annoying. So
Yeah. Well, October is a big year or a big month, so lots of cool games coming out. Yeah. So if anybody's saying there's nothing to play, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you either. Yeah, they're there. But all right, guys, thank you for watching. I am the Cowboy. These guys were some epic guests. You got some more epic entertainment. I still got a Maker Chaos video I got to put out. I'll probably be putting that out soon because I got to meet him in person, which was cool. And I got so many videos that I've recorded and didn't put out. A bunch of reviews of products and Temu and you name it. So I got more content coming. Again, you'll catch me tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing a reality talk show Tuesday. A lot going on in the world, and then Wednesday it'll be the wrestling league. Guys know how that is. It's pretty much mainly for a specific crowd, but it's been a uptick in that. A lot more people are watching. I'm like, okay, I guess they come for the crazy wild chaos and hear me and my son argue all the time. And then Thursdays, I've been recently doing Mortal Kombat Get Over Here Thursdays. It's still my Let's Get Random Thursday because maybe one week I won't do Mortal Kombat. I'll do something else. But just check me out. I got a lot of content. With that being said, and now your mama knows. Catch you guys later.
I'll make you famous. Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man! And now, your mama knows!
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon!